the cloud. I love it when she says that. All right, so here we go. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. We are going to, this is the introductory or inaugural season of our PRO Remodeler of the Year Awards. That's going to take me a while to get used to. And so we are super excited. We have a new awards portal. I'm going to walk you through that step by step. Then I'm going to turn the presentation over to Kara Hill from Marks Woods Construction Services, and she is going to share some tips and tricks that she used as a first-time entrant last year to win multiple CODIs or multiple PRO Remodeler of the Year awards. I'm going to have to edit that out. All right, so I'm going to share screen. It's really going to take a while to get that out of our vocabulary. All right, so look over. I've got all sorts of things open here. Here we are. So first, I will tell you that you can find information on the awards program on our new website. I'm going to type that in here real quick. So PROMidAtlantic.org is the new site. Can everybody see my screen? Great. So right here under this awards tab, you'll find all the information you need about the PRO Remodeler of the Year awards and also our PRO Achievement Awards and our MVP Awards. The Achievement Awards are kind of like our chapter awards. We have a new Member of the Year, a Image Award for our Remodeler of the Year. We have a Vendor of the Year Award or Contractor's Choice Award, Community Service. So there are several awards programs that you can make sure that you get that recognition to kind of differentiate yourselves from your competitors. The PRO MVP Awards, that program allows you to recognize excellence in your company. Kara actually last year won the Marketing Manager of the Year. So there are several different things there. There's Project Manager of the Year, Office Manager of the Year, Lead Carpenter of the Year. There's several categories there. And if we don't have a category that you want us to have, let us know. But that one allows you as a company to recognize those folks in your on your team that achieve excellence and set you apart from your competitors. So it's a great morale booster. The PRO Remodeler of the Year is what we're here for today. And look at that, our TriVista USA. This is an award-winning project from TriVista. You'll see a lot of those. We use those to build out our website and showcase our members' work. All the information you need about the awards program is here, including the deadline. So we have the early bird deadline, August 15th at 5 p.m. It is a $225 fee to enter. The standard entry deadline is October 7th. At 5 p.m. Again, it goes up to $25 to $250 per entry. And then our late entry deadline is October 30th at 5 p.m. And that is a $275 fee to enter in that period. We will let you know, we do not plan. In years past, we have extended the deadline. This year, we extended it to the absolute latest it can be, which is October 30th. And if for any, we will not be extending it past that. So we just want to make sure everybody is aware of that. You'll see a lot of communications about that. We also have, it says Trade Team Partner. This year, we've changed the name from Trade Partner of the Year to Team Partner of the Year. And Debbie, will you make a note to tell Kate about that? These are the companies that assist you in your project to make those projects award winning. So like Sky Marble and Granite, Ferguson, T.W. Perry, maybe an electrician or a plumber. So anyone, you're welcome to have as many team partners on your project as you would like. You list them in the portal, and I'll show you how to do that. And then we reach out to them and confirm that they are interested in entering, and we take care of their award fee separately. So this is a great way to kind of recognize and build that camaraderie between our members. They do have to be a PRO member in order to participate in the awards program. And then let's see here. Our awards will be presented, all awards programs, the achievement, the MVP, and the Remodeler of the Year awards will be presented on February 12th at our Evening of Excellence Gala. So we're really excited about that. It will be in person, and we have a nice masquerade, think party mask, not COVID mask theme. All right, and then a few other things here. All of the, on this page, you will also see some of the most important things. You can enter the same project in multiple categories. So say, for example, you have an entire house project. You can also break that out, and you can have a project, a portion of that entered in the bathroom category, a kitchen category, an interior category, a specialty category. So that was new last year in our awards program, and that's exciting. However, when you break out like the kitchen, when you go to put in the project cost, you need to limit those costs to the kitchen project only. And then this year, due to COVID, we typically go back through 2 years. And so this year, because of COVID, we are allowing you to look back over projects over the last 3 years. So any project completed after October 1st, 2018 would be eligible for our local awards program. And then we have a few new categories this year. We have a new construction category. And I'm trying to think of that we have one which is a creative uses. Yeah, creative uses category. So how you may have taken something, maybe it's an area under a staircase, and used that creatively for storage or whatever. So and you'll see that you should have received, or in the next week or so, you will receive a full color guide, like a catalog of all the categories. But if you're looking for them here, you'll see the program guidelines. You can click here and you'll see all the program guidelines. Here's a link to the awards portal. And then right here on the steps down low, so it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to do this. You go to the awards program, review the program rules and guidelines. You download the award category list and take a look and choose the best category. If you need help choosing the right category for your project, please let us know and we can help you with that. There are some forms that are required for every project. A homeowner release has to be signed by both the contractor and the homeowner. And that is the general contractor who needs to sign that. And then the photography release, even if you own the picture, say TriVista is the one who took the pictures and you own it, you still have to complete a photography release, signing off, giving us and Home and Design Magazine permission to use those photos. If you enter a green category or a universal design category, there are additional checklists that you can download here. And those are required for those two categories. And you will, it's a spreadsheet, you'll download it, check off all the information in there, and then you can upload it into the portal, and I'll show you where to do that. Again, team partners, there's an entry form. This year, if you would like to include team partners, you simply download this form, fill it out. You can have already talked to them about it, or you can put their name on there and we'll reach out to them and take care of everything from there. Step 3, in the portal, I'll show you how you will upload your documents, your photos, and your PDF presentation. You'll actually, instead of uploading it this year, you will just provide a link to that where you have stored it in Drive or Dropbox or some other cloud storage portal. And then, and as we get in there, I'll talk to you a little bit more about that. And then after you submit your entry, I will receive an alert from the portal, and that will alert me to create an invoice for your company, I will email that to your billing contact on file with us, and it will be housed in your Pro member portal online. So I'll go over that again as we get into the actual portal. So let's see here. I'm going to move over. I see something in the chat. Debbie, can you check the chat and make sure I'm not missing any questions?
It was me. I just put in that it's creative solutions is the new category.
Oh, thank you. Creative solutions. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. So as I mentioned, from the website, you will get to this site here. This is the new Award Force is the name of the platform. And the website to enter your award is proawardsplatform.com. So if you forget that, you're welcome to write it down. But if you forget it, again, it's accessible on our promidatlantic.org website under the awards tab. So the first thing that you would need to do is create your account in here. You can have multiple accounts if you need to. So, but I recommend you have one account and that everyone from your team, say I'm going to use TriVista again, say both Mackenzie and Michael and Deborah are all working on the same entries. You may want to create it under the primary person. So if Mackenzie is the primary person who's working on this and submitting the entry, she would create her registration login. She would put in her email, create a password, confirm the password, agree to the privacy policy, the cookies and terms of service, and then agree here to receive a notification to confirm the email address. So once you do that and hit the register button, you need to go over to your email. You'll get an email there to verify that email address is the correct email and to give permission for us to email and set up this registration. Does anybody have any questions on that? So you'll want to, whoever the entry will be tied to this registration. So if you have multiple people from your company, you're going to want to use one registration and give everyone access to it so they can get in there. So I've already done that step. And so I am going to come over here. This registration page is only for your first time, but after that, you'll just skip right over and come over here to the login page. Oh, there we go. All right. And so this is the next page that you'll see. And again, you can click here. If you click there, you'll see the entire rules and guidelines. Oh, I think I just messed myself up there. Let's see. Hopefully I didn't go into the admin site. There we go. And so, sorry, I totally messed it up by doing that. So then you can come here and say start entry. On this first page, you're going to have the opportunity to choose, are you entering, which awards program are you entering? Are you coming in to enter our achievement awards, our MVP awards, or in this case, everybody's in here to enter a Pro Remodeler of the Year award. Once you select that, it brings down another category list of all of the categories associated with that. Again, you can find a complete category list on our website and on that first page that I just bypassed. So here you'll see all the categories in alphabetical order to make it easier for you to find them. And then you choose the category that you would like to enter. For kicks and giggles, we're going to enter an entire house, $750,000 to $1 million. As soon as you choose it, the description comes up over here. But that is also available for you in that download, the complete category list. It automatically captures that I am the primary entrant, and that doesn't matter. Like the primary entrant is just the person who has set up this account and is the person who that account is registered to. Then you have to check off here again, you'll see the complete program rules and guidelines. You'll have to check off there that you agree to the terms of and agree to abide by those rules. The next thing on this first tab is your company name. you will need to put that in exactly as you would like it to be displayed on your award in Home and Design Magazine, in the awards presentation. So it's very important that you confirm the spelling of the company name exactly as you would like it to be. So in my case, it would be PRO Mid-Atlantic. And then once you're done with that, save and next. And then you get one more try over here to verify the exact company name. Okay, so if you have LLC, if you want a comma, if you want punctuation, please make sure it is exactly as you want it to appear in the magazine and in any sort of marketing after the awards are done. Then you can come in and put in your company address. Here, who should we contact with any questions? So on the last page, it automatically pulled in the person who set up this account and whose name that is under. If for some reason that is not the person that we should contact with questions regarding the entry, this is your opportunity to put that in. Okay, so in my case, I would want them to reach out to me. And then it has the primary contact email. It pulls that in automatically. If for some reason that needs to change, I think you can come in and change that. And then phone number, of course, very easy. And then Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. These are the platforms that we will use after the fact to acknowledge our entrants and our winners. So we did a lot last year of marketing things and giving shout outs to folks after the awards are presented. We will link to your company thing if you provide us your Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn handles. Any questions so far? All right, save and next. The project summary. This is a 100-word or less summary of the project. This is not seen by the judges. So what this is used for is for the awards presentation. The script is often, we pull information out of this 100-word summary to help us, if you win, to identify your project and just describe it. This is also used by Home and Design Magazine to help them better understand the scope of the project and the client's needs and how you transformed the project according to the client's needs. This is a great place. You can mention designers, you can mention your company, whatever you would like in here. Just know that this is not seen by the judges. It is just for our use on the back end. Okay. Any questions on that project summary? All right. Your project entry presentation. In years past, we have had you upload a PDF document to the portal. And there were size limitations to that, which was very frustrating to our entrants because it took so long to upload. So we are getting rid of that upload requirement. And now you will have to save it as a PDF, and then you will insert here any link. And if there's a password or anything like that that is needed, enter that here as well. So this is your PDF presentation that tells this is the only thing the judges see. And this will, you will link it to where you have it stored, whether it's a Google Drive, a Dropbox, or some other platform that you use to store that PDF presentation. And this will have everything. This will be the project information that explains the transformation that project went through during the renovation. I recommend that you take a look, and Kara will get to this in her portion of the presentation, that you take a look at those judges' questions, and that is kind of the rubric that the judges use to grade and score your project. So it's very important that you include all of that in this presentation because it's the only thing the judges see.
Angela, I have a question. So how is the judging work? Because under NARI, it was some random chapter somewhere in the country. How does that work now that we're no longer NARI?
Good question. We have a lot of partners across the country, including NARI and PRO chapters. So we will reach out to former judges. We'll be working with the other 5 PRO chapters to solicit judges. We always look for, ideally, we love certified judges. We love general contractors and designers and architects as our judges. So we will be reaching out to chapters across the country to do this for us. No one who enters is allowed to judge, and we tend to not use people in our market to judge as well. We try to find people from other markets, and we do try to find similar markets. In years past, we used judges from the Tampa chapter, and what we found was their what they value in a renovation project, style, aesthetics, and things like that is very different than ours. So we tend to try to make it like Charlotte is similar, Central Virginia is similar.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, so we try to, Debbie works really hard behind the scenes to gather all the judges and make sure that the folks who are judging, like, and for green projects and universal design, we'll find those folks who are certified in those areas.
And then is the judging criteria going to be the same as what it was under NARI, or the type of questions, those things?
Similar, and we'll go through that. I will cover that too, or Kara, that's part of her presentation. So we'll go through that. Yes, it is similar to that. That's the same system used too by like Qualified Remodeler. There's very similar judging criteria. Okay. The next thing, so any questions about this? This is slightly different because in years past, you've uploaded that PDF and now you're literally just including a link, and I'm going to just put it in here. I'm going to be like HTTP. I'm pretending this is my link. Award presentation, entire house. Okay. .drive.com. Okay. So again, one of the things to make sure is that and I need to add this, Debbie, will you make a note for me to reach out and update this project entry presentation note to mention that it has to be a PDF, and to mention that to not have the name or any identifying thing in the name of the link. So you would not want Trivista USA here. You would not want the homeowner's name here. You would just want, I would recommend like the category and the award, you know, that's it, you know. Does that make sense? Okay. The photographer's release, we mentioned that before. This just gives PRO and Home and Design and any other publication that wants to pick this up rights to use your photos, whether they were taken by you, your company, or a professional photographer. You would need to come here. You can click on this and download the PDF. Once you get it signed by both parties, you click here, select the file, and upload it. So once I do this, I would just be able to come over, find the file, and upload it. Okay. I'm going to just do it because let's see, PRO photographer's release. Sorry, my computer is slow. There we go. Because if I don't do it, it won't let me move forward. Okay. And then you can save and next and come back and do this later. So that isn't actually true. It won't let me submit until everything is in, but you can always just kind of save and next and then come back to the project as many times as you want to between now and the entry deadlines. Does that make sense? And the same thing here, I can get this. This is the homeowner release. I can download it, save it, and then come back over. Sorry, I can't get back to this now because I've maximized my screen. So let me pull this back down. All right. And then, so again, I select the file. I go to the homeowner's release right there. Actually, it's that one, and I pull it back up once I've gotten it signed. Okay. Then here you can say, is this project, your entire home, are you entering it in a universal design category? If yes, it will open up another field, and you can take this universal design checklist once you've downloaded it, completed it, and then you can upload it again. If you say no, it removes that field. Okay. So this isn't a green project and it isn't universal design, but if they were, you would download the checklist and then upload them again. And again, those are available on the website and here on the portal. All right, here is where we get to the team partners that we mentioned before. These are your, maybe you have an outside architect or an outside designer or a electrician, a plumber, your Sky Marble and Granite, your, whoever you use to buy your building materials from. So if you plan to do that, you can, first of all, there is the form here. Actually, I don't see it there. I need to add that, Debbie. Will you put that on my to-do list, Debbie, to add the PRO team member, team partner thing to this as well? So this here allows you to come in and get a list of all of the current NARI members. And we'll be updating that throughout the award season. So it allows you to download that and then have access to see, and you just take a look at that and say, man, I didn't realize how many PRO members I'd used on my project. So if you decide to do that, you just click yes here, and then you tell us how many entered, or you may have 4, okay? And then here's where you'll select that file and upload it to the portal, okay? So I'm just gonna, for right now, I'm just gonna pick anything and put it up there, okay? Just to keep us moving along. Other organizations, say for example, in years past, we had a company, Debbie, who is the company who always, who wanted to use Lucors?
Balloton.
Balloton Builders. Balloton Builders came to us and they wanted to recognize Lucors on their projects because that was a designer who had done such amazing things. And unfortunately, Lucors was not a NARI member. However, we reached out to them, mentioned that they were a part, listed as a participating company on a project, and they decided that it was worth it to them to join to be a part of our organization. So this is a great recruitment tool for us, but it's also a great way for you to recognize and help those other companies that you're working with, first of all, connect with a like-minded group like ourselves and become an award-winning company. So anyone that you want to recognize that isn't a NARI member, if you put any information here, maybe it's their company name, primary contact, email, phone, whatever you have, you can list as many of those as you want to. We'll reach out to them, shoot them an email and just say, hey, you were mentioned in a PRO Remodeler of the Year project. And so we'd love to acknowledge you on that and see if you're interested in membership and entering. So save and next. This is the section where you're going to upload on this tab are your logos and your company logo and your photo. Instead of us having to reach out to each company at the end to get your logo for things like the awards presentation or the video presentation that we do for the awards, this allows us to get it from you up front and make sure that we have the most up-to-date logo on file for you. So if you've changed your logo, this is a great way to let us know. So you just select the file here and upload that logo. And again, look over me. I'm just doing anything to keep us moving along. Your wow shot. We like to have your favorite shot of your project, the shot that you think is magazine worthy, or that you would like us to use as the wow shot in our awards presentation or in the videos. Last year, we did a lot of really fun iMovie videos or trailers leading up to this, and we used a lot of the wow shots for that. So basically, you're just going to come in. We ask you to, in this case, you are allowed to use your company name because the judges aren't going to see that. So that helps us to, if you put your company name _ wow in the title of the photo and then upload that here. We also would love a before picture. So these are required. We need at least one after shot and one before shot. And again, I'm just, for kicks and giggles, I'm just uploading anything. So look over, it's not going to be the before and it's not going to be the after, just to keep us moving along. All right. And then how many additional before and after photos would you like to upload? We used to require a minimum of 10. And now we are requiring the logo, the wow shot, a before shot, and at least 4 additional photos. And you can decide, are these before and after combination? It's up to you. Whatever you think would be great to kind of tell the story of your project. Again, these photos and logos are not seen by the judges. The only thing they see is that PDF presentation. So this is all for Home and Design Magazine and for Pro to use to market the awards, okay? So if you tell me I have 4, it opens up 4 file things here for you to upload those, okay? So you have to have a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 10. Any questions on that? And whatever information you can give us over here. So maybe it's your company name and this is before shot 2, or company name after shot 3, however you want to name it, but we'd like your company name to be in there for this one. And that makes sure that we are kind of giving equal love to each one of our entrants in our things. So it really helps Kate when she's doing that. And I'm just going to upload anything there. Okay. And then let's see, once that's done, I should be able to get back to the save and next. Something's wrong. Oh, there it is. Okay. So save and next. And then it brings me back to the beginning to review everything. Okay. Again, you can save and next and close out of here. You can save and close and come back and add things to this as long as you need to until the entry deadline. But once you're ready, you can go ahead and hit the submit entry button. I didn't do a project summary. So it will go back and show you any fields that you did not do something in. So I'm just going to put a few little letters in there that's my 100-word project summary. And then I'm going to try again, submit entry. Thanks for submitting your entry. And it gives you a little thing here to remind you, don't worry, you're done. You've successfully done it. We will invoice you, your billing rep, and upload the invoice to your Pro member portal. And then you'll have a link in there to pay by credit card online. And then it gives you my information should you have any questions. And then you can return to your entries. This is new. You won't see, these are all of the ones I've done, my little dummy test ones in here. Even after you've entered, which you couldn't do this with the old awards platform, you can come back in. So Debbie and I, we have a pre-checklist. Once you've entered, we'll go in and make sure that everything's there, your homeowner release, your photo release. And if we find that something isn't in there, we'll send you an email and can tag that entry and say, this entry is missing a homeowner's release. And instead of you having it to send it to me and me upload it, you can go back in and add it yourself. So that's exciting. All right, I'm going to stop sharing so I can see your faces because I feel like I'm talking to myself. What questions do you have about the awards entry portal? I'm going to go for that 7 seconds past awkward moment. No questions?
Or you
Okay.
can tell us how great it was.
Yeah, I hope you will find that it's easy to use, and it is the first time we're using it. So like I saw several things in there. I've been through it so many times, and I saw a few things. I'm like, oh, make note of that, Debbie, and we'll get those things cleaned up. But if you get in there and you're confused or you have any questions at all, keep me on speed dial. Okay. I'm here to help. All right. Miss Kara,
All right.
ready
Okay.
to take over? You tell me what you need.
Yeah, no, I think I'm good. All right. So let's see. Can you all see my screen?
I can.
Okay, cool. So, couple super quick tips, and I'm gonna switch back and forth just because between this really like beyond basic PowerPoint presentation and then specific examples, as well as that judging criteria that Angela was talking about. So the absolute first, most important thing, the biggest piece of advice possible is to think like a judge. What that means is when you are creating your entry, I highly recommend pulling up the this program rules and guidelines, which is on our website. It's also on the awards entry platform. It's in a bunch of different places. You're going to scroll down to the bottom and it says judging process. In here, when it says that scoring criteria is between a 1 to 10 in each of these, I have judged a couple of different Cody award for other regions and areas. And every single time I print out my judge sheet and I print out the entry and I just go line by line and give it a 1 through a 10. So you have to keep in mind that people are just like all of us. We're super short on time. We're trying to, make really good evaluations of these entries without spending, valuable time that we have, with how busy the industry is right now. So we're flying through these entries while giving them good thought and analysis and evaluating. So here it says, entry describe the client needs and desires. Did the contractor show that those needs and desires were met? 1 to 10, 1 to 10, literally that's it. Judges aren't writing down, oh, well, maybe they did this, maybe they didn't, and then thinking about it and meeting in a group. It's 1 to 10, total it up and go. So a really good example of this when, you're thinking like a judge, I've got a couple of entries up here. There's 3 of them here that are all in the same category, entire house, and you're going to see a big difference. So when you were looking at, and we'll start with a good one. Here we go, entire house right here. So literally, this person just has 2 sentences. These are the client needs. Here are the obstacles. Like it does not get any simpler than this when they're going through it. There's a category on there, enhancing the structure. They put 3 sentences, bam, next line item. You will see here that aesthetically, it's like, oh, this is a gorgeous presentation. I love it. Photos, all the stuff, project statement, clean and easy. But I don't see the client needs. Those aren't clear and upfront. I don't see the obstacles. There's a lot of great in this presentation for sure, but I'll take you all the way to the bottom where they start to answer the super important judge questions, and it's super long. Like this is great detail. However, as a judge, I am not going to probably sit here and check off and go back and recheck everything. So while this is super informative and would make a phenomenal case study, and I would highly recommend putting this on their website on a separate page, this is not what we're looking for or judges are looking for when it comes to entries. So that's a great place to start, is going to be the judging process and really addressing those categories. It can be as clear and simple as having a page in your PowerPoint presentation that says new floor plan function, bullet, 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 or materials functional, or like how we made the materials functional, bullet, bullet, bullet. Don't overthink it. It's so easy to do that. Just answer the criteria, answer the questions. So above all else, that is the biggest tip I will give, is to think like a judge at all times.
Can I interrupt for 1 second?
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
going to interject as you go through, because that
absolutely.
is huge. So we have judges and they spend hours judging these projects, and each judge, we have limited each judge for us to like 15 projects or less. The easier you make it for them, they spend a lot of time and they're dedicated to doing this well. But when you get all of that wording in there, it's hard to answer the questions. So like Kara said, if you create a slide that answers the question specifically with bullet points, it makes your life easier because you're doing less writing, and it makes their life easier because they're getting to it. Check, check, check. They cannot give you points if they don't see the answer to the question. So you may have implied it in a picture, but you want to show it. And that might look like a little arrow pointing down, like see the new recessed lighting for blah, blah, or like just think as simple as you can. And then there was something else. Client needs. We have had judging teams in the past that have told me it's all about the contractor and the remodeler and not about the homeowner. The judges tend to really like Lenny masters this. This was the homeowner's trip to Mexico, and they brought these pieces, and the homeowner, like now when they go in this bathroom, they see that artwork that we created out of these tiles. Like, you want them to see that these were the client's needs, and man, did we nail it. We knocked it out of the park. Okay. Sorry, Kara, go for it.
No problem. And I apologize. I feel like my puppy has like a radar where he sees, oh, you're on a Zoom call. Now is the absolute optimal time for me to start barking. Like literally, he's been silent for 12 hours. So
get him and have him come over.
Come on in, Dylan. Okay. So, all right. That's the most important, is to think like a judge. Next thing, same thing. This piggybacks on it. Keep it super, super simple. I showed that example where they had a really long narrative. That's overthinking it. It's wonderful to have those details, but just keep it simple. Bullets, they're amazing. They're God's gift to award entries. Photos. So photos, images, drawings, renderings. Images really say, 1,000 words. So I will show you what to do. We have here lots of images. So this is why I do really like this entry, is because the images. It's before and after. Like this, it does not get any better than having that before and after. What I would have liked to see is how that before and after addresses certain obstacles or issues, because as a judge, I see it all right in front of me. I'm like, oh, okay, I see. The before was not functional. The after is far more functional. Boop, check, check. It answers some questions. So
I would also say, if you're going to do drawings, don't use the same drawings that you're giving to your lead carpenter. You need to kind of dumb them down a bit, because those drawings tend to have so much detail on them that you don't know what you're looking at. So simplify any drawings you have. If it's hard to tell from a picture, like how the space might have been all cut up before, and if you have an as-built and a new layout, you want very simplified versions of that, so it gets a specific point across, not 8 million little arrows and the note schedule and all the stuff you would have for the field guys.
Amen. There, Kara, I love it.
Yep, it's raw. I have no idea what the heck I'm looking at.
This is what not to do.
And this is, don't do this at all. But it's artistic, I guess. But yes, absolutely strip it down, but make it clear. I think this entry here did a really great job of that. And I'll scroll up. Boop, boop, boop. So they stripped a lot of the stuff out of here. They did still include some of the demo notes and everything. They could still have cleaned this up more, because it is a little bit overwhelming, but there's a lot of them. Like this is a better version. So,
and then for photos, Kara, are you going to get to, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but before we go on, are you covering like before and afters and on the same slide so they can, and from same angle so they can visualize the transformation?
No, but I can now.
Okay, yes. So very helpful.
Yes, so let's go back. Yeah, that's super key. Here we go. So when I was talking about having, I liked that other presentation because it had the before and after on the same page, but it missed the context. This is a perfect example of the use of arrows like Angela was talking about, you know, why they did what they did. And then they're standing in the exact same spot. That's where it is beneficial to use the same photographer for before and after, or at least do a walkthrough with the photographer before and after, so you can know where you're taking those shots and have that exact same angle. So yes, that's perfect segue. This is a great example of doing just that.
And your before photos, like the great thing about those, like look at the lighting on that before photo. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
A lot of companies now are, because they're doing so many awards, they're going into a project and taking as many photos as they can from various angles, because you never know where that wow shot angle is going to be at the end. So take those various before things. When you send your team in there, get them to take as many before shots as they can, and in production shots if you are in progress shots too, because it really does help show the judges what's happening.
Yeah, I would say that the in progress shots, you really want to minimize unless they speak to a specific difficult challenge.
Yes.
But the judges don't really need to see a room stripped down to the bare studs. They all know what that looks like. It's more like, hey, we stripped it down and all of a sudden we realized that like something was floating in the air that shouldn't have been.
Right.
Or like there's specific challenges like, hey, we had to move the entire stack for the second floor as part of reconfiguring this space. Those are good, but the rest you don't need like you know, a flip book of pictures going from A to B.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When in doubt, you know, get as much information, because you can't go back and take before photos. You can't go back and take during. You can go back for after photos forever and ever, but collect as much information as you can for all of your projects from now moving forward, and then cherry pick and really, you know, make sure that you're picking the best stuff. So you don't have to.
And I would tell you, if there's anything in the middle that you want, do not depend on your team to go get it. You should go get it yourself, because I've tried this for in progress shots and the team, they don't understand the bigger picture. To them, it's like a job report. It's not like, hey, you're lining up a series of things so you can show somebody how this space was transformed. So if there's going to be a critical in progress shot, then somebody who's actually dealing with the award should go take it. Like actually have a plan as you go into the project.
I don't know if it was Moss or Marks Woods that said that now they have, you know, they meet with the clients to get a better understanding of what the client's needs are. The designer goes and does this. They take the before pictures and they kind of start working on that awards portfolio from the very beginning. And so I agree, Lenny. I think it's very important to get that stuff from the beginning, send somebody who you know will get it done correctly. And your designer might be the best person because they can really take that, what the homeowner is saying, and, you know, build the award around it.
Yeah. And that's, we're actually the ones that are doing that. So the second we sign a project, we start the award entry. So that, you know, all of that raw information that 12 months from now, or if you have a project you're entering from 2018, you're not going to necessarily remember everything and then you're scrambling. That's actually a really perfect segue to my next tip, which is talk to your team. So it's super easy, especially if you wait till last minute. And I can attest to this because I am guilty of it. And last year with one or two of our entries is we did not, we ran out of time with one or two, and we didn't get the full story from our team. So before we applied to nationals, I was able to get some additional information. I realized how much I'd missed out on had I actually, start a little bit sooner and talk to our team. So that means everyone, you've got your project managers, you've got your craftsmen, you've got your trade partners, you've got architects, designers, call up your clients, interview every single person who had some kind of interaction with this project. If possible, we start with that, onboarding meeting where we talk about, we do it for projects in general, but I also have an awards check-in with my team, and I'll just say, hey, what new projects are coming down the pipeline? What's about to start? Talk to me about the current client issues. Talk to me about when we're going to have, our team go in and hand spin these balusters for the stairwell, like, so I can get a photo of that, or so I can make sure that I talk about the challengers, or kind of see it for myself, or talk to whomever is in charge of it to get that first person experience. Architects, same thing. They're a super valuable resource. Sometimes we'll have clients that come in who already have architects if they don't hire Marks Woods to use an architect, in which case I will reach out to that architect and see what kind of conversations they had, because sometimes they have conversations even before we've spoken to the clients that they solved the problem with their designs that maybe we didn't have to address. So that gives additional context. I'm meeting with my team again tomorrow to go through selecting our entries, and I'm going to talk to the designers a little bit more about some of the current projects, especially with COVID. There's a lot of hurdles that designers are going through that you've got people on your team because they're great at what they do. So they're probably pivoting and might not even reveal to you like, hey, that stove the client really wanted, we actually ended up getting something super similar because the other one was back ordered. And that's a little thing they're not going to bug you with on a daily basis, but makes a really big point for your entry. So yeah, keep in constant communication with your team. And last but not least, take your time, do not rush. So you have time to get these photos. So you have time to do these interviews so that when it is October 29th at 5 p.m. and you've got 24 hours, you're not trying to have your architect update the designs and strip out all of that excess information. You're trying to get the photographer released, the homeowner, get all the details. Oh my gosh, the project manager's on vacation. I can say all this because I hid under my desk for a good 2 hours last year while I was waiting for some return phone calls because I waited to the last minute on one or two of our entries. Don't do that to yourself. Get it done now, sit on it, step back and be like, oh, okay, you know what, this looks great. I've got the homeowners on board. I've got an extra week. Maybe I'll just like fix this little thing or get another photo here, send out another photographer because I don't really necessarily like this and I could use more information here. But give yourself that breathing room and time because it sneaks up on you. And the portal entry itself, even if it's, I think the deadline, what, Angela, was 5 p.m.
Yes.
Okay, do not upload your stuff at 4 p.m. just because you have everything done, because it's going to take you, a couple minutes for every photo you upload to make sure it's named correctly. It's going to take you a couple of minutes to give it a good caption, to write out that project, description. So even if you have everything done, there's no reason to wait till last minute, especially if you can save it and return to it in a day or two. So get it uploaded as it's done, as you're going, and get them in submitted earlier, the better. And you can always go back and tweak if needed. So yeah, those are my top tips. There's obviously, I know everyone has a different award entry experience. We all have different ways that we structure our companies. So some of this information that maybe is difficult for my team to get, you guys already communicate about it on a regular basis, is a lot easier. Some people have photographers they turn to and are on staff. It's easier to get that stuff. So anyone who has other tips, tricks, warning signs or words of, wisdom, go ahead, love it, share it. It's kind of an open forum at this point.
Absolutely. So, Lenny, any other tips or tricks that you could suggest?
Nope. I think we've kind of hit on everything. I think it's telling a story, and it's not about what you think is the most amazing thing before, after, or during, but it's about looking at it from the judge's perspective and telling a clear story, and that you want to make sure that you do have some good wow, at least one good wow picture that's really going to show that. That's kind of the thing I noticed, that when I look at what BOA and Win and Trivista do, especially when they enter in the higher dollar categories, the transformations are massive, and sometimes that's challenging on lower dollar categories, but you still have to make sure that you're picking things that you're like, yep, that's the money shot.
Exactly. And start there, like that opening slide, you want the money shot. You want to wow them from the beginning. And I also recommend have that before, like if that wow shot is your first slide, with maybe the project category and price point in there, then the next slide could be maybe the before and the wow shot again, like let them see that transformation. I also would recommend take a look at all the categories, okay? And try to figure out the best categories. There are some categories that historically do not have a lot of entries. And we will do a great job throughout the award season of letting you know the ones that are underrepresented, okay? So sometimes you may have just this great little project, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's nobody in this category. So we have 57 categories this year. We usually have 120 entrants. So, take a look at all the categories and try to make sure, you may not think. I've had John Tabor, his wife and his team didn't want him to enter a project. It's my first year with this chapter, and he went ahead and did it. And that won because they weren't like, that's not that big, great of a project, but it was. So just, you can't win if you don't enter. For the first time ever, the design fees are not included in the project cost. So pay close attention in the category description. At the very bottom, you'll see the project cost and what all that includes. It is also in the rules and guidelines. For the first time, we've decided to break out the project design fees. Those are not included because there was a lot of controversy over a design build company and then another company kind of subbing that out. So it just wasn't comparing apples to apples. That was one of the bigger changes this year. Let's see. Any other? Mackenzie, you guys have done a ton of these. I know Grossmueller's, y'all have done a ton of them. Anybody have any other tips or pointers?
Sure. I just wanted to reiterate what Kara said about the timing, because last year was the first year that I did it for our company, and I think we submitted about 6 or 7 for awards, and it took me about a solid month to get everything together and to execute it. And just the time it takes to get back the client forms and waiting on photographers, it takes a lot longer than you think. And I think I submitted the day of the deadline to try and do all 7 of the awards at one time. Don't ever do that. If you get it done beforehand, just try and submit it beforehand too, because you may stumble across something that you need to change or something takes longer to upload, and don't be frantic. Just give yourself the time.
Absolutely. And start now. Those forms, the client forms, the photo release, the team partner, the checklist for universal design and green, those are on the website and in the portal. Go ahead and get yourself in the portal. Take a look. It's not going to hurt anything. You can't mess it up. If you end up getting started with an entry and you're like, I don't like this one, I'm scrapping it, just shoot me an email. I'll scrap that when you start all over. So just get in there, feel comfortable.
Yeah, and actually, Mackenzie, that's brought up a really good point, especially with photos. Right now, all the projects, because we all got that big boost about, 9, 12 months ago, and all those projects are wrapping up. So photographers are so booked. I think a lot of us share similar photographers or use the same photographers, and they're booked out. So even if you have projects that aren't done and you plan on submitting them, try and get on these photographers' schedules, because they are booked up and you can't just scramble and get a good photographer at the last minute.
And at this moment, I'm going to give a plug for pro photographers. June Stanich and Greg Hadley are our two pro members. They do a great job. If you need their contact, please email me. I am going to give them a solid plug. Anything else? Any other tips, tricks, questions?
One other thing, and this is something actually you guys might want to add to the portal. Make sure that your Drive or Dropbox links are not private. They are shareable, public, so that when these judges are maybe judging after hours or on their own time, they're not having to wait for that approval. And, they're able to just click on it, sit down, and get straight to it. So just it's a little thing, but just make sure that you guys are making those links shareable and public.
Great. And I'm going to add that to our checklist ahead of time for Debbie and I. We'll check to see if we can access it and we didn't have to ask for request permission, etc. Okay. Everybody okay? Everybody breathing?
Go do your entries. Start today.
Yeah, what are you waiting on? No, just kidding. Elizabeth, you doing okay? What do you think?
There's never enough hours in the day.
Amen, girl. Amen. Kate, who works for us, used to work for Blue Star, and so she would attest to that. Like her first year of doing it, I was on speed dial, and Kara, I was on speed dial. So
yeah, I felt so bad. I was
No.
like, Angela, oh my God, please help me.
Just chip away at it, maybe set aside even 30 minutes a day just to do another part of it. So you're not, just do bite-sized chunks so you're not so overwhelmed, but you're just making progress each day. And that's probably a good way to try to attempt it as well.
And if I can't help you, first of all, I can help you. Like if you have questions, I will help you figure it out. I have seen so many of these projects, but Debbie and I are here. The awards committee is here. Greg Hadley on the awards committee he's a photographer. He has done so many of these. So please don't hesitate. Don't sit there and go this alone. Reach out. I will say I was thrilled last year with Kara being a first-time entrant, how many projects she won. So we are here to help you, and we can help you create an award-winning entry.
Do you guys offer to look over a project before it's entered?
I'm happy to do that. I would do that for anyone. So basically I'll just, kind of take a look. I wouldn't go as far as being like, I would just kind of look at the judging questions and see if
like the overall, not the
Make
all
sure
the
you didn't miss
details.
something,
Yeah, I would recommend that once you have it uploaded or your project done or your presentation done, send it to someone else on your team and here are the judging questions, score my entry and get them to do that. I'll take a look at it for things like, do you mention the homeowner, things like that. I have to be somewhat careful with that, but
Sure.
I will definitely look over it. And if I see something glaring, I'll get back with you. But it's always good to have another team member in your company or a friend. Just say, here's my project. Here's the judging criteria. Score me on it. And if they might be able to give you some things that, you didn't really address the lighting,
Yeah.
Oh, there is one other thing that I know has come up in the past, but you need to make sure you stick with your category. So if you're doing an interior renovation, don't mention anything on the exterior. You could say, hey, we replaced this window or something as it's viewed from the interior, but don't start talking about the deck or something like that. You'll basically get thrown out for not fitting in the right category. So you need to make sure you definitely pay attention to that.
And I'll add to that, one of the changes we made this year, we had a project, I think it was 2 years ago, disqualified. It was a kitchen project. There was an issue on the exterior wall, and they showed an exterior picture where they had kind of gone in and fixed things on that, and they were disqualified for that. We have changed, be sure to read the category description and guidelines carefully. We did remove that requirement. Like if you have an exterior picture showing like the kitchen wall or something like that, maybe it's a nice bay window or something that you added to the kitchen, I don't know. And you have an exterior picture, we've changed it to where it won't disqualify you because of that. So just take a good look, make sure you're really comfortable with the guidelines for that category. And as I said, when you choose it on the portal, it pops up on the right side there, so you can see it again and again. But I would download that complete category list and all the descriptions and what cost is defined as, so you can make sure you're entering the right category. The judges do reserve the right to move your project to disqualify you, if you aren't in the right category or if you've kind of gone outside the parameters of the category. Like a bathroom cannot include an adjacent space. A kitchen cannot include an adjacent space. If your kitchen is kind of like the kitchen and maybe a little mudroom or some other adjacent space, it is an interior project, an interior renovation. Okay. So if you need help selecting category, please let us know. We can advise. All right. All right. Well, I think that's about it. If you need us, please don't hesitate. The website again has our email address and my phone number. I'm here anytime. Okay. You're going to do great. We're excited and can't wait to see how many of you win the inaugural Pro Remodeler of the Year awards.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you all for your time.
Wendy,
Good
Kara,
luck.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Great-
Thank you.
Great job.
thanks.
Thank you.
Stop recording when you get done.
There we go. I stopped recording.
All right.
All right. I'm racing to Central Virginia's meeting that starts in 7 minutes and it's 20 minutes away.
Okay. Bye. Be careful.
Bye. Bye.
Good